minutes, it's going to be their game, because I think Sven can easily be locked down enough to take out most of the damage out of Navi's pool, but it really depends if the Ember Spirit's able to get the kills in the farm he needs. If he gets punished by the Bane, by the Earthshaker ganks, then I don't know if Vega can pull this one out.
We'll find out. I mean, Earthshaker, it's one of these kind of off lanes where you don't actually see all that often. I mean, normally when we see Earthshaker, it's in a kind of 4 position, trying to roam around, trying to make something happen with the fissures, so he should be able to get a decent amount of levels here if he's not caught out too hard by maybe lucky cast bounce or Oracle being able to channel up good fortunes, and he has to be careful, and there's a chance that he'll actually get zoned out completely if these supports from Vega decide they want to put on a lot of emphasis on that. And well, the question is, does that really matter at the same time? Because you have Dandy on the middle lane who can kind of pick up the slack, who can create space for the Earthshaker to get his level 6 later if necessary, so as long as Navi don't die, I feel like they should be in a good position to head into the middle game.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the runes going a 1-1 split, no real contest so far, so no early first bloods, just gonna see everyone kind of get into their lanes and getting set up for a great match.
Yeah, it's a Treant apocalypse already starting.
Absolutely.
Well, they get one last hit. Nah, just expired before Seneko could get last hit too. That's annoying. But yeah, let's drag back on creep wave. Cannon puts makes it a little bit hard for Dijara to actually last hit. Looks like they want to use the noodle creeps here. Actually drag some of them back. I don't know what's going on.
Here in the mid lane, we've got Solo just in the mid lane harassing the crap out of Dendi. He's already been using that Fortune's End just to try to get him low. In fact, Dendi might be going in here. Everyone's getting kind of low in this mid lane.
That's something that we haven't talked about yet, but it's something that you have to consider. The Fortune's End. Oh, Hustle actually coming in already here with Satyr, and he hits the nuke onto Solo, forcing him back. Well, there's a couple of tangos to play with. But of course, no one doesn't want to give over the self to an easy support like him. But yeah, up against a Batrider, obviously you want to have sticks, and Invoker starts off with the magic wand all the way up to 10 charges, so he's not going to die anytime soon. But the Fortune's End also able to purge away the sticky napalm, takes away so much from the Batrider laning potential.
Absolutely. Now we've got a rotation in by the Chen. I don't think anything fancy is going to come of this, as Chen only has the Holy Persuasion leveled, and he's got a little Satyr buddy, but yeah, I think this is just going to be kind of a stalemate mid, unless the Satyr's going to go deep here onto Solo.
Well, Natsa doing a good job. It recognizes that Dandy needs some help here, and well, Satyr is actually a decent creep to do that with. You do have that plus 6 health regen aura actually, so that kind of eliminates the need for some regen here, and also the nuke. You have 6 times 140 damage, or 60 even. It's a little bit short now, no one gets hit by that, but as I said, he has 17 charges right now, he's not gonna go down anytime soon, but perhaps with Seneko coming in, might be able to burst it down. They do have a brain tap here, pops it out, there's the first blood! Can't even get the stick charges off, not quite expect that kind of commitment here, but now Solo might be the next one on the list. There's a Nightmare coming out, a couple of right clicks with the Flame Break. That's 2 heroes down just like that. Now Chen will be the trade as Mac comes in, trying to pick up slack, but now he might be in trouble. There's still a creep running around. Does not have enough mana for another nuke though, unfortunately. Otherwise Mac might have been dead already, but General ultimate his way in here somehow, looking for the kill. No mana for Fissure though, so it looks like the Nature's Prophet will be able to make it out with Solo and no one both coming back from dead already.
That is the power of this Navi draft. They can just go in, they can stay in. The only problems we saw there were just mana regen problems. Earthshaker having no mana for a Fissure, Bane having no mana for another Nightmare. So once they get their mana regen up, I see no reason why Navi can't just dive into Vega over and over again and secure the mid game for themselves.
A good start getting the first blood, especially in this kind of middle lane, where you would expect no one on Solo to do quite well here. Like an Invoker, one of the better mid heroes, especially up against a Batrider who can do some things, but we have talked about it, it's being kind of negated by the Oracle, but yeah, there's some good aggressive rotations there from a lot of Navi heroes though. Oh, they're gonna go again perhaps onto Denny here with the cold snap, Sunstrike, he almost flies into it. Doesn't end up doing so, but the nuke from Soul and an extra couple of right clicks will be able to turn around.
Yeah, no one's doing pretty well in this lane. He has a death, but now 2 kills to his name. He's feeling pretty confident here.
Mac, he gets hit by the Stormhammers. Neko does have the Nightmare, pops it up now. A little bit of extra damage. Should be able to finish it off with a Brain Sap. No, not quite. Digirat did not quite get the right clicks in, but well, Seneko able to pick up the slack with 1 right click of zone to finish the job.
Yeah, absolutely. One hero we haven't talked about so much is General here in the off lane. He's definitely holding his own. He's a little weak on last hits, hasn't really been able to get up into the wave as much as he wants, but definitely been doing a great job rotating. We saw him in that mid lane.
Speaking of
Oh,
rotation,
hold on here,
Solo
Dendi.
once again. Yeah, going on Tandy. No one has 4 napalm stacks on him. It's not gonna be enough. A couple of right clicks though. Dandy this time around, he will barely be able to make it away, but can't actually stay in this lane for much longer. So Neko actually coming in to try and help. Solo dropping low to a tower shot, so if you got caught by Nightmare there, if Bane had the mana, then it would have been dead for sure. But not the case. Meanwhile in the bottom lane, Artstyle going in deep with a couple of creeps. He eats his way through the trees with Mag and see the Slayer. They want to go in deeper here, but think twice about it with heals coming up from Woodstock. They're a little bit too much to deal with.
Yeah, looking at the last hit chart, Ditya is way at the top. He's feeling really confident in himself. He's top of the net worth chart as well, I believe. So he's got now that Morbid Mask, going to be going for the Lifesteal build. I think Ditya has had just so much space here in the bottom, and he's on track to have a really powerful mid game.
Radiant's top tower is under
Kind of trade of is that Pasha on the top lane on the Ember Spirit also got as much free farm as Sven did actually. A similar amount of last hits, and the question is, who's gonna be more aggressive? Because I feel like both of these heroes have the potential to contribute a whole lot to the mid game, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Sven's just going to take a little bit more farm. Yeah, he's tanky, yeah, he's big, but he doesn't really have a whole ton of damage until he gets a couple items. Here we're going to have Seneko initiating here onto Mag. I think this is just casual harass, but we've got Sven going in, has the Stormhammer ready, is going to cast it. Mag is going to be going down here. A couple more last hits will do it, and Seneko's on a killing spree. Fantastic rotation in by that Bane, setting up the kills, making sure that Nature's Prophet does not have enough space to get the farm he needs.
Yeah, that's just the strength of Nightmare up against any sort of solo hero with any sort of follow-up. I mean, we've all, in the past we've seen like the Bane Mirana combos, these kind of cheesy things, even Bane Lashrak. But Bane Sven with the 2-second stun from the Stormhammer is just as good, right? You do have a lot of damage to play with, and they've been able to make that work with the long disable setup from the Nightmare.
We've got Dendi heading back to the mid lane. He's got his bottle. He's got another 600 gold ready to go. So, yeah, he's not top of the net worth chart, but he's feeling pretty comfortable here. Dendi, we know, has a very aggressive playstyle, but he could be punished for this as Seema is in the trees waiting to cast that paralyzing cask, and he could get stunned up for a little longer than he can handle.
Dendi might not expect that, but at the same time, there's very little solo kill potential up against an Invoker, even without any sort of setup, so don't think Danny will think about going in as deep as would be necessary for Seema to come in. But now, Vega, putting things into their own hands. But General's there, tiny rotation just stopped that in its tracks, and now? Oh, they want to do no. Okay. They only have the Gen creep here, the Harpy Stormcrafter. One of the more annoying creeps to deal with if you're face up with it in the early laning stage.
Yeah, there's just been so many resources focused up in this mid lane. We've got the Oracle, now we've got General sitting here, just kind of babysitting Na'Vi, making sure things don't go too bad for Dendi. And I mean, both towers are still up, but this has been where all the kills have been focused so far, except for one in the bot lane.
Speaking of bot lane, Pasha are rotating in. Not sure if they want to make something happen. They do not have any smoke, but Oracle just picked one up. It's gonna be a while until we get to those, so I don't know about this rotation. Pasha could have found maybe 1 or 2 extra creep waves here, and now it might even be found out by Ditya.
I'll take that.
Seneko needs to be very careful here.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the Fortune End cast now. Ember Spirit going in. Pasha's going in. He's got the Searing Chain, so it's gonna be a Sunstrike as well. Seneko getting very, very low. One more lash will do it. He does end up going down. Ember Spirit gets the kill for that, courtesy of his Flame Guard. And now the Tier 1 tower's under siege. Na'Vi immediately gonna spend the Fortify. There's so many heroes. I think this tower's going down.
It should be. At the same time, they only got the Bane with that rotation. So ideally you want to get the Sven there, but Ditya maybe he felt something in his bones and something like that was happening. At the same time, top lane, look at General. He's been able to use his base, got his level 6 now, he's getting a couple of much needed last hits here as well, getting him closer to the Blink Dagger after the Arcane Roots have already been finished. Speaking of Blink, Batrider probably also in his mind here, and Seema will not get caught out, but will be zoned away from the tower, so yeah, even that is a trade at the end of the day. So Navi's still looking quite good. Overall, Vega need to make something more happen here.
Yeah, I mean, this bottom tower going down was really huge. Of course, they lost the Bane, but also just the tier 1 tower going down opens up the jungle a lot to Vega. They can now get in without being spotted out, without being punished so hard, so Navi really need to keep the wards up there and make sure they're not giving up too much of their map.
Oh, Dandy. He's trying to farm the enemy jungle. Yeah, Mud Golem's not exactly the easiest to farm for that right now. You see Pasha unable to... Pasha unable to actually make something out of it, but at the very least then he's not caught out.
Pasha gonna be finding General here.
Can actually solo kill him though. There's a little bit of lockdown from General. Does have the Echo Slam as well if necessary. Remnants out before Danny can get in range for anything. Didn't quite have the mana for the last anyway, but he would have with the stick charges. Solo, Fortune's End. There's the Arcade Rune. That's nice to have on Dandy here, but pay with not paying the price. Alright. Mac thought about teleporting in there, but ended up not doing so.
Dendy's hunting. He has the Arcane Rune. He's going and he's gonna get or Solo's gonna get stunned up now, but Seema's here, pops out the Paralyzing Cask, trying to just mitigate any damage coming out. We're gonna see Nature's Prophet rotating in, and Dendy could be in some trouble here.
It could be. Cold Snap will reach it from no one here on the other side, and Hand of God comes out, but it's not enough to actually keep him safe, so... I was wondering when this aggressive posturing for both teams would result in a kill, and this was it. Dendy just overstaying his welcome a little bit. Gets caught at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I know Navi's an aggressive player, but he needs to tone it down just a little bit, because, you know, Batrider, he's great at going into the initiations, but he's gotta live long enough to get all his spells off.
This would have been time better spent actually farming your own jungle or kind of stacking up, so you can go closer and closer to your Blink Dagger. As it stands right now, I mean, sometimes you see Batriders even in the offlane have to blink by now. Then he's still about 1,000 gold away. Of course, a little bit of a different situation out of mid and whatnot, but now Navi looking to be more aggressive instead of less. Ditchera joining the charge. He does have an Armlet to help him with the damage output. Snake leading the charge. You just need to find an opening, but no. Vega? Seems like they know what's up. They're not really going too far away from the tier 2 tower. As I say, that Seema moving up to the creep wave, but he's not the target that Navi wants.
Yeah, I mean, this smoke just kind of
again.
Wasting a little bit of time around the map, but it's keeping Vega on their toes. They don't know where Navi are right now. They're feeling a little bit scared. They're staying on their side of the map, so Navi just capitalizing a little bit on the fact that, you know, Vega aren't playing as aggressively as they could be.
All this happening though, you see no one. He picked himself up the Midas, so more or less a standard build on Invoker. And with that, he's put himself close to the top of the net worth chart, competing with Ditchera. So, where do you see this Invoker go in terms of items right now?
Well, he's got the Midas, so that opens up a lot of doors for him. I mean, I think he's going to go for the classic dual skill just to help set things up. It'll definitely be great for controlling the pace of these team fights. And here we're going to see some initiation here just on the top tower. General's here with an Invis rune. I don't know if he wants to go in and stop this, though. He has the Echo Slam, but there's going to be no follow-up from other Radiant heroes.
Yeah, and guess why? The other Radiant heroes are busy taking Roshan very early in the game, but Chen, of course, enables you to do that with the ultimate use from the Sven 2 to give it that extra bit of damage boost. So I'm not sure if Vega actually expected that. If they did, maybe they wouldn't have gone for a play like this, because sure, tower against Roshan, it is technically a standard trade. Normally we're talking about tier 2s when that happens, and now, well, Navi have a little bit of extra safety now behind them, behind the Sven. He can be more aggressive now. Pasha is going in anyway here. Teleports galore from Vega. Want to make something happen here. Sneko left alone from Navi as the rest of the team wants to get the hell out. They catch Dandy, though. Doesn't have actually, didn't have a Firefly to get out after Sprouts, so Vega going in head first, and they catch 2 targets with Navi not actually willing to commit to a team fight despite having the Aegis at their hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like Navi, they got greedy, but they just didn't want to follow up their greed, and they lost 2 heroes that they didn't need to lose. They didn't get the tower down, and, well, yeah, the Roche fell, but I think that's just a little bit too much to lose. You're giving a window to Vega that you don't want them to have, especially with heroes like an Ember and a Nature's Prophet that can benefit so much from having heroes dead around the map.
Now look at Vega, they're exercising map control, taking over the Radiant side jungle, swooping through it under the cover of the smoke. Don't quite have any extra wards to place though, unfortunately, but Seema has one. Just plopped it down right now. But yeah. You're exactly right. I mean, that kind of momentum shift that Navi should have had the momentum coming into the tier 2 after taking down the Roche, but just not committing to a team fight like that when you have the Aegis means that Vega, they feel much better now. They got a couple of kills. They have an Emerald Spirit who is a decent item progression here, doesn't have the Boots of Trouble, so his farm rate is gonna be as efficient as possible, and Navi right now, their huddle up is full once again. They're not getting much off the map right now.
Yeah, if we look at the net worth breakdown, Sven, he's still number 2, so at least he's getting something out of the map. He's getting his items, he's getting his levels, but Invoker's number 1, followed up by the Ember Spirit and the Nature's Prophet, so Dire, they're getting a lot of space here to get their big cores up.
Gotta ask, what's the trade-off for Navi? We do have Dandy now with a Blink Dagger, so that can shift the momentum around a little bit once again. Level 6 on Bane, of course, has been there for a while. Artstyle has the mechanism, so I guess outside... Oh, actually Earthshake also has Blink now, so I guess that's what they were waiting for before they really commit. But now it looks to me like now we have all the core items, and yeah, that's probably why we see them group up as much as they do, just waiting to jump on Vega. But yeah, well, Vega experienced enough that they know that this is about the time where these crucial items come up, so instead what they do, they split up the map, they farm on Pasha, they know that the Ember Spirit is the late game trump card, and they're not really going head over heels at all.
Yeah, I mean, Navi, they're hunting for something, but they're not going to find anything just yet. Do you think Navi are spending too much time grouped up? Do you think they're just not spreading their cores out like they need to, securing farm? I mean, they've obviously been looking for ganks and trying to find something, but it seems like they're just not getting.
Top lane Ditchera. Fortune's End will not quite hit thanks to the blink that he's picked himself up as well, but there's plenty of heroes here. There's the Sprout keeping it there momentarily. He is through with the Quelling Blade now. Potential turnaround of Pashi takes a lot of damage here, but the Aegis will be triggered first. There's the Feedscope as well as the Nightmare coming in. Dandy with a follow-up lockdown on Mac, but there's the Solo coming in with a false promise, stopping that from happening. No one's still quite healthy. Solo, not so lucky, but now Dandy and the cat bounce back on top of the Death Ward here. Ditchera stops it from happening. Seema will get chopped down, maybe not here with the Magnus as well, so the heal's coming out. Vega still mostly alive. Pasha though, oh well, he will get stopped by General running right into the fissure. No one's still alive, but he's dropping low, out of mana, out of cooldowns, out of health points, and Ditchera, well, that Aegis definitely helping out in this particular instance. He's being kited more or less by Seema, and can't quite catch up, but the rest of his team helping out with the blinks. And there's just Glock down to follow up. Mac kind of caught in a bad spot. He should end up falling here, but perhaps a turnaround, no one. They does get the cold snap off on the Earthshaker, so that'll be at least something else they got after all of was said and done. It's kind of a long team fight here, but at the end of the day, it looks like Navi came out ahead, albeit slightly here. 4 for 3 trade here.
They secured the tower as well. And the tower is a really big advantage here because, again, it opens up the Dire jungle. It makes it so Navi can rotate just a little bit more. And Navi, we've seen them rotating so much this game already. Ditchera grabs his first kill of the game, which is going to help him snowball up just a little bit more. He's been fantastic here. We saw that Aegis definitely bringing him back to life and allowing for Navi to turn that team fight. Otherwise, I think Vega would have had that one completely.
Absolutely. Without Sven there, I mean, he kept licking around, he kept getting some very nasty swipes in, even though sometimes it wasn't enough to actually bring people down. Especially the Witch Doctor, deceptively tanky there in that fight, with the heals constantly going, with the stick charges, saving him not once but twice, I believe. But still, having that extra lockdown, having that extra damage mobility as well from a Warcry was just crucial there. If he didn't have the Aegis there, they would have straight up lost the fight. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, and we're going to see Navi kind of go back to farming. They're still grouped up a fair amount. We've got General here hugging Ditchera like he's his brother. Seneko rotating through as well, and now everyone's just kind of clumping up around Dendi, waiting for him to have the initiation. Dendi's going to be going Force Staff, so that's going to help start things off a little bit. Ultra mobility here with Blink and the Force Staff. So I think Navi, as soon as they get that, they're going to hunt for their next victim.
Even now, he even has a haste rune bottles for a little while, so they managed to find a pick of soon that can also come into play, but for now, gonna try and take control of their own jungle, trying to farm up a little bit, as I said, and Vega? Well, do you think they have more pressure under them now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Vega, they're going to try to find something. Their peak hasn't hit yet. Their Ember's not huge. Their Nature's Prophet doesn't have the items that he needs just yet. So Vega know they're at a disadvantage right now, and they're just going to try to stay safe, not give up any more kills, stick to their own side of the map, but that is giving Na'Vi a lot of space to do what they want. We're going to see a triple-man smoke gank here from Invoker, Oracle, and the Witch Doctor. They're going to go hunt in the Radiant jungle. They're going to find Dendi, but he blinks away.
Oh, will they? He pops a haste rune here, but that will be purged off immediately with the Fortune's End. So yeah, despite the blink out, they do manage to catch up and get that kill.
Dire's middle
So
tower
trying to go
is
for that
under
little bit
attack.
more aggressive route, smoke into the jungle, find isolated pickups, catch Na'Vi on the back foot in order to kind of extend the game a little bit, keep Na'Vi away from tier 2s. That's something that the Chen would normally allow you to be able to do, right? Just win a team fight, win the skirmish, and then take not only tier
Radiant's
1s but
middle
tier
tower
2s.
is under attack.
And it's still rather early in the game, but we're slowly getting to that phase where the Chen creeps are maybe not as reliable anymore, especially if you're thinking about the Ember's Bird about to finish off his Battle Fury.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Na'Vi, they picked a lineup that benefits really well from getting in, getting early push, early map advantage, and as we shift into the mid-game, well, we're going to see that impact fade just a little bit. We're going to have an initiation here, a little rumble in the jungle as Sven goes up a little bit too close to Dire Heroes.
But then he's thinking about it. He's definitely thinking about it. Doesn't want to go in though. He doesn't. Firefly going, blinks across and finds the Witch Doctor instead. Ditchera comes in, just immediately nuked down.
Faith tested.
Chen with the test of faith there, doing a lot of work.
Yeah, that's just a clean pick-off for Na'Vi. Gonna keep putting them a little bit ahead. Taking a look at the net worth and gold graphs, it's still super close for 20 minutes in the game. Less than 1,000 net worth difference, just about 2k XP difference, but here we're gonna see the meatball getting dropped. It's gonna finish off some Chen creeps, but no heroes going down just yet.
Yeah, at the very least, it'll keep them away from the tower. Duran, caught by Mag, but still has the Quelling Blade to his proud, not really locking him down. Pasha? Well, he sees him. There's a stun on the creeps actually, but now a little bit of extra lockdown should do the trick, and now the Echo Slip committed. And that's the Ember Spirit going down just like that. You have to be so careful if you're Pasha. You can't afford these kind of missteps to now, because now Na'Vi has the momentum going into the mid lane, even though they don't have a lot of Chen creeps available. They just picked off one of the main damage dealers even now on the side of Vega.
We're gonna have the Witch Doctor just throwing out the cask to stall things out. The
Oh,
Forge
Seneca though,
Spirit.
he finds him with a Nightmare. Kind of stopping him, and that's immediately to Fiend's though. They want to get this kill, but now Solo comes in with the false promise. I keep forgetting the name of that. At the very least that's down now, so hey, maybe if they can get a more juicy target with the lasso here like no one, then that spell is not
Dire's
going to be
middle
available to
tower
save
is
him.
under attack.
Absolutely, we're just gonna have just Denti and the rest of Na'Vi trying to tease out skills from Vega. It's working a little bit. They got the Witch Doctor out of mana, but now just a clean back off and no towers for Na'Vi just yet. Meanwhile,
at
we've
least
got
did a
Nature's
decent amount of
Prophet.
damage here. Yeah.
Nature's Prophet in the jungle. General going in, catches him out with a fissure. I don't know if they can follow up, but Denti's here. He's got the force, he's got the blink, he's gonna go with the lasso, drags him forward into the fire. General waiting, doesn't want to kill him just yet, wants to secure Denti a little bit more farm. We're gonna see some more sticky napalms going out now. Vega, looks like they're gonna lose their Nature's Prophet. This could turn bad though, as General's gonna be taking the full force of a Death Ward to the face. General
look
trying
at
to TP
Slayer.
out with his life, but he gets
Oh.
caught out by the deafening blast from the Invoker. No one securing himself a kill. And that's gonna be the end of the initiation. They lose the Earthshaker, but they take out the Nature's Prophet.
General almost got out of that as well. I mean, no one kind of walking into the enchant totem to begin with, ensuring that they actually do get the kill on the Mac. That didn't happen. Maybe the tornado could have come out a little bit earlier. Mac would have had a little bit of extra time to get out. Well, General kind of doing his best there and almost got out alive. Props to him there. Yeah, at the same time, good rotation from Vega coming in at the right time to get a trade out of it, and well, no one can't forget about this Invoker. He does have a Midas, not quite at the top of the net worth chart, but he's been keeping up with the Sven throughout this entire game here in the back of the Midas. Now has the Agnum Scepter available, so he will be able to quickly rotate through spells.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to help him out a ton going into the mid game. And meanwhile, we've got Dendi sitting 4th on the net worth chart, so he's very useful as an initiator, able to control the pace of the team fight just a little bit, but certainly his damage is just not as big as a Sven or an Invoker, so there's a lot riding on Sven's shoulders right now.
Kind of need him to be able to swing a lot. I mean, it doesn't have the damage from his ultimate. It does have the BKB now to make sure that Vega can't really lock him down at all. They just can try and run away with what mobility they have available to them. But yeah, if you think about it, what is that actually? You have with Nature's Prophet also going for an Agnum Scepter build. You have a Witch Doctor who doesn't get a whole lot as he's in that 4/5 position. Oracle also not going for a 4 stuff of any kind. All they really have is the inherent mobility from the Ember and any sort of saving potential that the Oracle can get you with a false promise. Apart from that, all they can really do is just try and run away. Oh god, top lane. They find Nakius, Nick coming in. And even the Echo Slam committed here. Well, that Nature's Prophet is deceptively tanky here, but they will end up being able to bring him down regardless.
Yeah, he was just standing there waiting for death as those trees expired. Zaneko grabbing his 4th kill of the game. He's now sitting on a Gem of True Sight, so that Bane going to be very useful here, able to deward, make sure the Invoker can't Ghost Walk away if things go poorly, and well, how do you think Vega's going to respond to this? Do they have to target the Bane now?
Yeah, if you can get him, absolutely. I mean, he has the ability to take 2 heroes out of the fight very, very quickly and for a very long time, between a Nightmare as well as Fiend Script. And if one of these heroes is the Oracle, then he won't be able to interrupt any of that. So targeting the Bane, if you can get away with it, is not going to be bad strategy. At the same time, Navi has so many other heroes that you have to worry about. Especially the Earthshaker, who now has a Shadow Blade, so that makes it harder even for Vega to see him coming at all. Let alone try and focus him down before he can get his spells off.
We've got a smoke here from Vega. Are they going to try to rotate in the pit here? Are they looking for blood? They could go into the Radiant Jungle, and in fact they might find out Dendi here.
Seema leading a charge now, switching to solo, and they do fight Snako here, and that's exactly what I was talking about, that gem on the deck, and well, might be a Bane, but you're not a Night Stalker, you can't stay over the trees with that
Absolutely.
gem.
Now we've got Solo sitting on the gem. That's going to be really, really nice for Vega. They can go through, they can deward all of the Radiant if they'd like to, and that's going to give them a lot of map control back.
Looks like they want to finish up the last remaining tier 1 tower. Danny though has other plans. He gets the lasso onto Pasha, into the loving arms of the Gem Queen, and there's a tornado coming out. Gives them enough time to ram them out, but Solo, look at him. One swipe from Ditcher almost brings him down. There's cast coming in, but Ditcher, not stopped by that too much. Does not have enough mana for another stun though, so he's just gonna have to try and get in range the old-fashioned way. 1, 2, can't quite blink after Seema to get the third deciding swipe in, and it's kind of the problem with the Chen. It can be kited quite easily, and now look at this. Pasha just being annoying. Sunstrike will hit too, so all of a sudden Ditchara can't even feel comfortable continuing to fight here. They have to try and turn it around, trying not to lose all of the Chen creeps here, but at least that Centaur will be going down.
The poor little pony. There, in memorial. And we're going to have just the Dire heroes. They're all feeling pretty healthy after that fight. They could rotate in for the second Rosh of the game if they wanted to.
Doctor ordered.
Well, Navi has smoke up. Might have a similar idea. Looks like they want to go straight into the Rosh pits, right under the noses of Vega though. They catch wind of this. And they will. I mean, the Fortress is coming in. Luckily for Navi, they didn't quite start attacking yet, so they're still all under the cover of the smoke. But now, the creeps will be revealed with no one blinking out, and maybe that's the space that Navi is looking for. They should be able to take it fairly quickly if they commit the God Strength from Sven, but
I think they're scared. They know the
so.
Invoker Forge Spirit is there. They know it's going to sniff them out as soon as they head into the pit, so they really don't want to give up any advantage here. As we do see, Navi, in terms of golden XP, they're teetering just above 0, so they could throw this with a bad fight.
Yep. This game has been exceptionally close here, and that's exactly what we saw in Dota Pit as well. Navi eventually were able to outplay Vega, but honestly, this is a kind of a Vega that we know that they can be. Right? It feels like they're on a good spot right now. when it comes to
We're going to see the
form.
Roche finally come out. Digiraw hopping into the pit. He's going to be chunking it down relatively quickly. He does commit the God Strength for it. And I think Dire, they might know what's going on, but can they rotate quick enough to stop it? It's already at half health.
Well, might
You
be
see no
there
one go in.
just
Tornado.
time, yeah. Tornado MP comes out. It's on Digiraw and Artstall here. Dandy Can's trying to screen a little bit. But a bunch of trees coming in, but Roshan already down. Can they make the clean escape though? Tasha is there with a sleight of fist, but only finds Artstall. Exactly kind of target this one go. Now sticks around for too long. Dandy catches him with the lasso. There's the false promise, keeping to save. Artstall will end up being bursted down. Yet the Aegis though, for some reason, I don't know, he's gonna be back. They didn't quite expect that, but Tasha, well, he's not getting caught out. He did have the safety remnant. Same
Echo
time though, these
Slam.
other two heroes, Echo Slam on 2, and that'll bring them down just like that. Nice catch there from General with the follow-up for the rest of his team, and now we don't lose anything really.
Yeah, I mean,
I
they got
don't
the
know
Aegis.
why. Yeah, I don't know why Chen had the Aegis, but it definitely was the right decision
It was,
there.
I think it was being creep locked in. They had a Chen creep like right on top of it, so Digiraw couldn't get close enough to snatch it up for himself. But either way, Chen grabs the Aegis. It comes in very useful in that last fight. And Na'Vi, they now have a huge advantage. They're going to take a tier 2. And it looks like Nature's Prophet's still down for 30 seconds. I don't think they're going to push further here, but you know, I've been proven wrong before.
Well, looks like they want to play it safe, take the other tier 2s if they can first, and now with the other 2 lanes kind of being pushed out heavily, don't want to commit too much, because you don't exactly know what kind of buyback status there is. Nah, could have come back with an ultimate, doing that little bit of extra bit of burst damage that Navi couldn't have handled, so... Now playing it safe, and now no one isolated Blink, lasso, but there's a false promise. So, he was ready for that, for sure.
Absolutely, Vega definitely playing some mind games. But here in the top lane,
Dandy
we've got
catches
Fineko.
He catches him 4-step out. And yeah, there it is. Perhaps a turnaround though. Digiraw, he wants to fight, gets the blink down until no one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it's all it takes. And they do get the Invoker after all.
That
I know
Moonshard
who
feels
baited you
really
there.
nice. Santa's hitting
Oh, yeah.
like an absolute madman. His attack speed is crazy right now, and that means he can consume it and pick up another item. This guy's almost 6-slotted. I think Digiraw, he's hit his peak at the moment. He can now go in with his team. He's incredibly strong. He hits hard. Well, there has to be follow-up, though. They gotta catch Vega out of position, and it looks like that might be the case here as Solo. He's gonna be going down. He does now have the Oracle ult on himself, but it's not enough to keep him alive for long. Earthshaker grabs the kill for that one, and Na'Vi, is he looking for more? He's gonna go Firefly on some creeps, but Dire aren't gonna respond to this just yet.
Digiraw at the same time, he knows no fear. Doesn't have any mana to play with even. So doesn't have that safety of a stun to be able to turn on the Pasha, but at the same time, that Ember's Bird, he does have, it's not like he has bad items, but just not enough right now to strike fear into Sven's heart, who has 21 armor, 2k max health to play with, and a moonshot. So if he does get stun, if he does get any sort of disable, he's gonna be able to chop down through that Ember's Bird or anyone really on the side of Vega pretty damn fast. Now
Genji
that
is
tower
ready to
is also
jump.
peril.
He's waiting up here. He's on the
there
high
it
ground.
is.
He's gonna
Does
jump.
not quite get it. It's not quite get it.
Tornado
Forced
holds
about
him
not
up.
quite across, and now EMP stops him, brings him down, pops a BKB even. It's not enough to bring him safe. That's actually the gem on the deck too. He was not gonna be happy about that, being called out immediately like that. And that sends Navi back to base.
One night.
Yeah, it seems like Vega, they're gonna hold the high ground here for at least a little bit longer. We have General with that Shadow Blade, just kind of making a little bit of trouble for the Forged Spirits, but Vega, they feel comfortable holding high ground. They can clearly get pickoffs on Dendi when they need to, and, you know, can they continue to hold high ground indefinitely, or do they really need to split up and farm?
To hold high grounds, I think they can actually. Atmosphere is getting close to the point where he can more 1 or 2 shot creep waves with a sleight of fist. And if you look at the map and if you look at the Nature's Prophet, looks like he wants to go maybe straight for the refresher now, with the Perseverance picked up. So he's doing a lot of free spawning, and that's exactly why we saw the top tier 2 going down while Navi was coming down mid. So we're starting to see that effect of Nature's Prophet. Even though he can't split push himself, he goes for a build where if Navi commits on one lane, he can push out the other lanes from the safety of his own base.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
something that Navi has to try and deal with somehow, either by picking him up or by pushing the lanes out far enough and then booster traveling to another lane or something.
Don't know if you mentioned it before, but Shen has his Ags pickup, so we've got Ancients on the field. The Black Dragon's obviously incredibly useful for pushing. Their little fire squirt is incredible. And here in the top lane, well, it's just going to be a battle of the pushers as Ember Spirit pops in, but immediately heads back out as Dityaram makes himself known.
Yep. That's another thing that they can do. Just split push with Ember Spirit. Not necessarily Nature's Prophet, but just Ember teleporting in, getting rid of a creep wave, and then coming right back with a remnant. He doesn't have any sort of defensive items though, so he has to be very careful. He has to be very wary of Navi's positioning across the map if he wants to go for that kind of play. But for now, Navi looking to take down the last remaining tier 2. Still at full health up in the top lane. And yeah, with mid laners pushing in. It's one of the harder lanes for Vega to take advantage of. And now actually Navi looks like they might want to wrap around completely and maybe catch someone on the retreat. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
but we've got Vega pushing in. They're all going to be here clumped up in the Radiant jungle. We've got Mag in lane pushing the creeps out, but I don't know if they want to sacrifice their tier 2 here. As Ditya, he's smacking on it in the top lane, and it's going down fast.
Yep. Navi, they're not really phased. Looks like they might want to sacrifice their tier 2 if they can make pressure happen on tier 3 at the same time. They don't even feel like they need to go high ground themselves, force them back. They see solo, they see Passion and they see no one, sorry, defending this push, and that means that, well, they can just claim the map control that they've just gained themselves.
Absolutely. So Navi, it looks like they all want to group up, they all want to push. They've cut General here, invised up, looking for a pick. In fact, they could find the Ember. If Pasha pushes out a little bit far, he could get caught out here. Fisher's now just slightly out of range, so he's gonna go back to sitting in the trees.
This is one of these cheeky plays, though, from General. He's just sitting there, waiting for an opportunity to come in. Might be sitting there for 1 or 2 minutes before he decides to get out, but just having the potential to pretty much solo kill someone out of nowhere can really catch you off guard if you're Vega. Solo, yeah, he might be susceptible to that. General sees him now, but there's a sentry coming out. Oh man, Solo knew. I guess he knew with both that he saw General that he barely brushed with death there and unable to catch him. Fortunately for General, so he does get out, but gotta watch out for these kind of plays, man. Gotta watch out.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
even though Vega, they don't get a kill right there. Okay, we've got double Daedalus coming out. I love this. Right at the same time, too. Sven and Ember Spirit now going to be critting like madmen. I love that pickup, but who's going to hit harder, I think is the question.
Did you, I would say him, actually, if he gets his ultimate off. It's at this point level 3, 200% bonus damage, so that's a lot of things. That's a lot of deeps. And Ember Spirit,
Absolutely.
well, he does have the crits, but doesn't have
Oh,
the... Oh god,
we're gonna
there's
see
1,
the battle
2,
here.
3.
Ditya claps him down. 3 hits there for that Sven, taking down a full health Ember Spirit. Well, that answers the question once and for all. Ditya now pops that war cry. He's rushing up. He's ready to fight. We are gonna see some initiation here as General's gonna take a tornado EMP to the face, walking through that ice wall. Gonna be taking a Sunstrike to the head now. Earthshaker still feeling relatively healthy. Art style has those Guardian Greaves. Now Ditya, the God Strength runs out, and there's going to be an Oracle and a Witch Doctor defending this high ground, but it looks like Ditya doesn't even care.
No, he doesn't. He has the BKB, he has 3k health points to play with now, with the armlets activated now. Tornado MP doesn't pop a BKB for it, so there's a lot of fighting potential, so just gonna retreat for now, wait for next replay perhaps, before they go in again, but yeah, I mean, that was 1500 crit from Ditya, and Ember Spirit, he does not have buyback. That's kind of the big thing, right? If their big carries are down for the counts, what do you do? I mean, sure, you have an Invoker who now has an Octarine Core, so he does have a little bit lower cooldown, a little bit hard to actually deal with, but if you mention dodge spells, he's still not going to be able to throw out those same spells again, and that's very significant if you're thinking about that big control factor of the Tornado EMP.
Well, we've got a smoke here from the Dire. They're rotating and they want to find something. Looks like they might find General. They're going to go in. He disjoints the stun there, trying to TP out. He does not get away. Now General's going to be falling here. He does end up going down to the Invoker, and that's a big kill. That's just something. Vega are getting something out of the map, which is just so crucial at this point.
Yep. With all the talk about how farm Sven is, you must not forget they haven't been able to break high ground yet. And there's still an Ember Spirit on the field who might not be able to man-fight Sven, but he will be able to kite him around if he's careful, if he builds a Lincoln Sphere, which I would definitely like to see on Pasha right now. Just be able to dodge all that kind of bullshit that can catch him out, or at least a lot of it. But if this goes late, he might be able to just one or two shot the guys in the backline on the side of Na'Vi, and a Sven without any support is just half as good.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I do think there's going to be a finite window, and what it's coming down to right now is, can Sven go in and just absolutely slap down all the members of Vega, or is he going to get locked down? Because if it comes down to Ember versus Sven, I think Na'Vi have a lot of ways to lock down the Ember. They've got the Bane Nightmare, the Fiend's Grip, they've got the Sven Stormhammer, they've got the Batrider Lasso, but what does Vega really have to lock down a Sven long term? They've got a Witch Doctor Cask maybe, an Invoker Tornado. I'm not seeing the incredible single target lockdown that you need to stop a Sven in his tracks.
That is true. I mean, that's where you would have maybe wanted to have that cheap stick on Nature's Prophet instead of the Refresher Orb, or even on the Invoker instead of the Octarine. You can still go for that, of course, now, to have that available to you later. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right now, there's... If Dijara, we've seen it before, if he can get on top of someone, then there's not a whole lot that they can do about it. Just as simple as
Take
that.
a look at the net worth chart right now. It's actually dipping in Vega's favor. I think if they hold this way long game, Ember Spirit can outfarm the Sven. But again, it comes down to, can they keep their base up? If racks fall, I don't know if Vega have the creep clear to deal with this. Nature's Prophet, yeah, he can clear it out a little bit, but I mean, those creeps are just going to keep coming. That's going to make it harder and harder for him to rat out the lanes. We've got a third Roche attempt. Here we go.
Now Tornado comes in, catches the Jura, but no one else is really there from Vega. With the invest with the DFT, just to be able to be just try to be a little bit annoying, but won't be able to do much without the Roshan going down. The cheese as well as the armlet dropped on the ground, so well, Ditcher with the Aegis. Oh god, I'm gonna go in here. Maybe try and trigger it immediately, but now BKB comes out, no one's caught. That's the false promise, keeping him safe for the time being. Meanwhile, back Pasha looking to clean up, and Snake in general, they're almost soloing him here now, and they are in fact doing exactly that. Solo at the same time now caught. No more defensive capabilities, and that's 2-0 so far. Not even the Aegis trigger. They do catch Mag with the Nightbear at the edge. And oh, yeah, nice little play there with the tree and taking it off, but he should still end up falling here. Then the Seneko non-style. They even commit the last to make absolutely sure that this Nature's Prophet ends up falling. And what's the trade-off? No one. He just said, fuck it, I'm not joining that fight anymore. I'm just getting out.
Language,
some
buddy.
Experience here. That was just... I mean, I like the idea of Vega going in like that. Oh god.
Oh, we're not done here. Seneko gets tornadoed up,
Seneko.
deafening blast into the
He should be
meatball.
fine.
He's gonna glimmer cape himself up, but there's just not enough damage to keep him down.
He's fine. Just relax. He's fine. It's a Bane. You don't just
He's
kill
alright.
a Bane like that.
You don't just kill a Bane. No one is in absolute no man's land here. He's in the Radiant jungle completely alone. He's got a little bit of vision here on the Radiant heroes, but needs to be very, very careful. Those Boots of Travels are going to be on off cooldown in just a couple of seconds. But he's going here onto his Sven. All alone. Is he insane? Now Dityara, he wants to turn this. He's going to get cold snapped up. He goes in Stormhammer, disjointed by a Blink Dagger. No one. He's running in. He's got the Ice Wall slow enough, Dityara. And Dityara's down to about half health, but he does not have mana for the ult. There's still an Aegis here, so no one... He takes control of the lane, but he's got to get out now before the Radiant rotate in to punish this. He's going to Ghost Walk himself up, rotating in. He might get bumped into here by the Sven, but I don't think there's any sentry vision. Now no one. He's going in with another tornado. It catches up with Sven again. EMP going in. He's going to get very, very low now. Dityara might have to pop the Aegis. He's almost clean out of mana from that last EMP, and no one finally going to be heading out, using those Boots of Travels to head home. That is space created, if I've ever heard of it.
It was such a weird exchange. Dijara, he was just shrugging everything off. I mean, would have had the BKB available at any point to try and turn us around, but recognizing that, at least for the first Stormhammer that he did, recognizing that was going to be dodged with the blink from no one, so he didn't want to pop the BKB prematurely and just keeping it for when he absolutely needs it. So, but yeah, well, no one if he got caught there by by the Bane, then that would have been a little bit different, and that would have turned from space creation into a casual fee. But as it stands, no one. He's doing what he can do right now as the Invoker. Just be super annoying. Make sure to keep Navi away from the base, which is what it still comes down to. Right? As long as you hold high ground, you do have a chance, because you talked about the network graph earlier, and even dipping into favor of Vega a little bit. And if you look at the distribution, actually, Dishira shows at the top, but the 3 following heroes are on Vega. And if you look at Navi's lineup, yeah, the Sven is a really good carry, but he's the only carry. Whereas if you look at Vega, you do not just have the Ember Spirit for the raw damage output, you also have the Nature's Prophet, who, well, granted he's not really going for he hasn't really gone for the fighting build. Instead for the kind of Tree and Apocalypse build, but he can, if he wants to, if the game goes long enough, he can build into some right-click items, some extra control items. You do have the Invoker, who now is Sheepstick as well to contribute, and a lot of control, a lot of damage still.
Yeah, I was going to mention that Sheepstick pickup. I think we talked earlier about, how do you lock down a Sven for long enough to take him out of a team fight, and, well, that's how. We are going to see Seneko here. He's invised up. He does spot no one. Now
they
Denny
see
here.
him, the blaster comes out, Seneko's there as well, with the free script to follow, General too, and that is not something that you can afford. I mean, it does have buyback, but as I said before, you have to be super, super careful going for these kind of plays without knowing what Navi are. And now, Didgeridoo at the same time just solo killed solo, fittingly enough. Now might even catch Seema there if he shows himself, but no cooldown on... Oh, there is still cooldown on Stormhammer, so could have locked him down. But yeah, that should be actually a buyback forced out, or tier 3 instead of Rax. One or the other. Vega, buyback. Mac comes to join the fight. Not a whole lot he can do on his own. No one. Misses the tornado. Not a good start. Now stun comes out of the both. EMP takes away all of Sven's mana, so he's not gonna have another stun for a long time. And also doesn't have the guard increase either. But Didgeridoo doesn't care. He chops away at the range tracks. Deafening Blast will stop that from happening for now, though. That's the strike. We'll miss in the back. Sprouts come out left, right, and center just to be annoying. Just to keep Didgeridoo there. And the Aegis actually expiring. But the healing effect will be triggered by Pasha. Will be interrupted by Pasha, I should say, before Sven can really gain too much mana. So it looks like Navi will call it quits for now. Might actually catch General here. Or do they? It might actually be a bait the other way around. Pasha caught with the Fisher. Then he's there with the lasso. Drags him across. Didger actually. He goes in deep and caught with the hacks. There's no follow-up though. There is now perhaps from everything. Didger was just trying to find someone who's got inside the Sprout. There's so much damage, he just doesn't seem to care. That's the entire death board. He's being sent back, but didn't even think they needed that. So he was down for 1 and decided. Actually, it might have been a big misplay there from Chen, sending the Sven back to base. Now try to TP to a lane, but that creep got wrecked. Now Seneko also falls. It's a triple kill for no one on the back of what should have been a dominating fight for Navi.
Yeah, that was a fun little Sunstrike kill to watch there. We've got 2 gems on the deck. They're Dyers if they want to grab them, but now we're just going to see some more push here as Vega, they want to grab some map advantage. They're going to go for the tier 2, which I think is the correct play, but do they go here for the high ground? I don't know if they can fight Navi on their own turf.
Yeah. Well, they definitely want to force out some buybacks if they can. I mean, there's Yoshik and Sven to deal with. Even without the buyback from Seneko now, and that can be dangerous enough if you group up for a good Echo Slam or something like that, especially wrong. So many treants available, so they're just gonna try and do a little bit of chip damage, see if they find an opening, but failing that, they're just gonna go back, try and play it safe. Once again, keep Navi away. Take what you get, but don't overcommit. That is still the Vega's road to win this game.
Absolutely. They need to go in, they need to keep finding pickoffs on Navi and stopping them in their tracks if they can hold their high ground up for much longer. Well, this is going to continue to be a very even game. Looking at the golden net worth charts, net worth is almost touching 0 at 50 minutes in the game. That's one of the closest games I've seen to date.
Yep. Experience is a bit of a different story, well in favor of Navi actually. And, well, does it matter all that much? Yeah, if you think about it, it is not the level 3 ultimate on the Witch Doctor
initiation.
or the Oracle. Oh god, they find Solo. Well, it's an Oracle, but at the same time, if you take away that ultimate for 60 seconds, you just have...
like a bubble.
It's funny to watch. I mean, you know he's doomed But it
Oh,
just
General.
goes from top to zero. Oh,
He
God,
wants to
Seema.
find something.
He's blocking off the Witch Doctor, and doesn't quite have the... kind of expecting some sort of
Radiant's
counter
middle
there, but
tower is under attack.
not the case. So just let him live. Throwing them a bow, maybe a little bit worried about the bottom lane as well. Being pushed in by Fort Spirits as well as Treants, and yeah,
Radiant's
this tier
bottom
3
tower is under
actually
attack.
dropping very low. There's 2 catapults also joining the mix. And yeah, they are actually on the road of equalizing the objective advantage if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Catapults were
Vega...
on the Radiant side, so I don't know what the fuck I was talking about.
Well,
But
Vega
hey.
do have the opportunity to split push. We are going to see Pasha come into lane, just popping out that Sleight of Fist, taking out pretty much all of the Radiant creep wave, and they also have got the Nature's Prophet, who now has the Aghanim Scepter, he's got the Refresher completed, and the Octarine. This guy has been getting a lot more farm than I thought, but now Pasha, he's going to get initiated on Echo Slam is blown. Does he have a Remnant? He's going to hop away to safety. They can't lock him down for long enough.
God, I didn't even see him there. Oh.
It was in the
God,
bottom lane,
yeah.
don't worry. It's okay. Nothing really happened. Top lane though, we've got a pick here onto Dendy. Looks like no one going to be trying to go in. There's an ice wall called down. He is going to be very, very low. He's trying to force out himself to safety. One more hit will do it. Can he get out? Can he sunstrike?
Yeah.
It goes through.
Turn around perhaps though with the Fiend Script here. Plenty of wraparounds on the side of Na'Vi. They do catch no one on the back. Remember, that's a guy who bought back early. He's down for the count for 100 seconds. So now that might actually be the chance for Na'Vi to come back in. Then he bought back for this as well. So it shows that they want to make something work right the hell now. Perhaps just take Roshan into another high ground push. But the problem is right now, apart from top lane, no creep wave is actually pushed in all that far. Not all of them have boots of travel to get back up there. Right now it's only Ditchara who's kind of slowly made his way here.
Ember going in,
That'll
does get the
help.
shackles here onto Dendy, but not really going to connect on that. The Searing Chains, they're burning him down, but they don't have the follow through. There's going to be a Hex picked up on this Chen. I like this pickup a lot, but is he going to get close enough into these fights to actually get it off on a key target?
Absolutely, I mean he's just gonna walk in there with using his creeps as a shield more or less. And that's all you can do as a Chen right now. I mean the heal is not gonna be as effective anymore. So you need to use something else. You need to get in range for the blast to take effect. Now might actually see the last team fight coming into play without the Invoker for another 40 seconds here. Want to try and slow down Ditchara as much as they can, which is chopping away at this tier 3 tower. Dendy always with the threat of a blink blast, and there it is. They do get it on solo. They never knows when available anyway, even if you wanted. But that's another hero down. That's the axe on the Seema. If he goes down too, that could almost spell doom for Vega, but the Flame Break pushes him back instead. Just keep them away, just take the racks, go straight for the middle lane here. They did soften up earlier too. There's 2 sets of racks going down for sure before no one can come back.
This is the last stand for Vega. They know it's the last stand. We're going to have the Death Ward pop down, but it barely tickles Sven. He's now going to be Glimmer caped up, getting out safely. Mag does find him out though, but there's the blink out of the little sprouts, and I don't know if Vega can chase fast enough to catch him. We got General here, invised up, has the Fissure, has the Echo Slam if he needs to use it.
They could turn us around with Pasha actually if they wanted to, but with the rest of Vega kind of joining in, there would have been a better chance to play to say the least. But well, Vega kind of knife in the gut right now with 2 racks down. Now, this is the last straw of this Roshan. They should be able to get it without Na'Vi being able to interfere. That being said, they're not taking it particularly fast, so Na'Vi is making their way in now. We do have General that might be a dunk if he wants to go for it. No, please be Universe. Be Universe.
Not yet.
Man. Not
Tornado
today.
though.
Alright.
That is a long tornado. It goes through, doesn't catch out anyone, but now no one's here. He's gonna get sheep-sticked up by Art Style. Not Dendy's here. Is gonna go and uses the BKB. There's gonna be a stun up from this Sven. They're trying to get him down. They've got the Oracle ult, trying to keep no one alive for as long as possible. Echo Slam comes through, crazy damage. Deafening blast. We've got Shoe Gems on the deck. And now Ditchara running around looking for something, but we're not done with the action here as Mag. He's in the fight. No one coming back in as well. Art Style's a pig, and no one gets burned down. Triple kill for Ditchara. Now Mag gonna be nightmared up. I think they're gonna get him as well. I think this might be it. I don't know if Ember Spirit's big enough to control this.
2 gems on deck once again, and only Pasha, 1 man left standing. And man, that was actually a good fight for Vega. They got the false promise off on the Invoker, kind of drawing a lot of attention there from Na'Vi, but it just felt too strong. They had too much sustain here between the Chen and Vega. They couldn't focus what little damage they had on the targets that they need to. The MS Bird, yeah, if you look at him, he was able to stay alive, but Na'Vi, they're not quite worried about him. Also with the Walker, it's not something that we've talked about, but it's something that's very, very useful up against the Sleight of Fist as well. Just negating so much of that damage, and without any big damage items to counteract that, it's just
This is it.
no joy
Last
for him.
stand.
And yeah, no one caught once again with the lasso. He's gonna fall. Pasha trying to do what he can. Next up again with the Daphne. There will be a drop in Snake, the only man to fall. Did you right? Actually, though, caught within the Sprout, caught with the Sheep, so he might actually fall here. And yeah, he realized that. That's almost 1400 gold going the way of Solo. Not sure if they can make too much out of that though, as they did lose their last set of racks.
Radiant's
That
middle
particular
barracks
team
are
fight,
under
they're up
attack.
against Maggers. They don't actually have the best lineup to deal with that. They don't have a Medusa or anything of the sort. Sure, they have an Emperor, but
Yeah.
it's
I think if
just
any
feels very
lineup
hard.
could come back against Mega Creeps, Vega have got the resources to do it. They've got the Invoker and the Natus Prophet and the Ember Spirit. All of them have pretty good creep clear, but just, you know, stats don't lie. There's such a high win rate. I think it's close to like 95, 96% for comeback against Mega Creeps. You don't do it, and usually if you see it done, it's almost immediately after. Usually there's like a team fight where the last Rax goes down, but then the holding team ends up pushing in right away afterwards, and I don't think Vega are going to win this if they stall out. They've got to get in the base now, and well, we're going to have Sven coming back up in 45 seconds. He also has buyback if he needs it.
Yeah.
I don't think they can lock him down a second time.
Biggest problem for Vega is that they're lacking the Invoker. He's down without buyback for another 40 seconds, and with that you're missing such a huge control component. But they're still, as you said, they have to go for it now. They have to leverage what they have, which is the Divine Rapier on the Ember Spirit. This is about as desperate as it gets for Vega now in this particular
Yay!
game. Dandy, well, there's pops the Lincolns.
I love Divine Rapiers. It makes the game just that much more intense, but again, I think that's kind of a YOLO Divine Rapier here. Obviously, Ember does really well with it, but Vega, they've got to get something done now, or their base is going to get pushed. Take a look at the net worth and XP charts. We've got like a weird little snake climbing up there, so it is still in Navi's favor, but certainly Vega have shown that there's definitely some signs of life, and they want to turn this around.
This net worth graph just shows the story of the game. The story of these teams as well. I mean, also in the games that they've had before, it was very similar. For the longest time, the gold advantage never went past 4K mark, or not much anyway. And just with like this, one of these kind of late game Dota trades, right? You lose 1 or 2 team fights and you lose your racks and everything. With that, a 10k advantage from Na'Vi. That being said, though, we're approaching 60 minutes in, so even that doesn't actually end up mattering all that much, because you have all the levels on the supports even, and you have all the items even on the supports, like these big core items, even the Aghanim Scepter on the Witch Doctor, which hasn't really done as much as they needed it to this game, just because of that big extra armor that they get from the Sven as well as the Vlads on Hardstyle. Do they
Yes.
have they don't have as a Sword Karas, but then you might be building into that now.
Sven is now 7 slotted. He's got the refresher orb on his stash. Maybe trying to rotate that in. And well, how does Vega come into this? Do they just try to hold their base once again, or do they need to go in and be the initiators?
I don't think they can initiate. If they initiate, then they don't have to burst to bring someone down. That's kind of the problem. They just have to try and hope that Na'Vi overextends, maybe with Dandy blinking a little bit too far, unable to get the lasso off, and then turn around that, blow that guy up when it comes to you, and then brace for impact essentially with the follow-up from Na'Vi. Try and survive that as much as you can. Try and kite the Sven, leave him for last.
Try and kite the Sven, but this guy is enormous. He's top of the net worth chart by like a huge margin. He's 7 slotted. He's got another 5k gold in the bank. He has buyback if he needs it. They gotta lock this guy down like 6 times to really take him down. He has the BKB as well. It's only 5 charges, but he can definitely make use of that. Another gem picked up by Oracles. We have like 6 gems in this game.
That's a good question.
We need a gem count going on.
Yeah, I'm counting 2 in the inventories, 1 by either team. And Courier, well, there's another one on the rated side, Courier. I don't see anyone on the base. So yeah, we have 3 gems on the field right now.
They're desperately trying to hold their base, but Mega Creeps are so strong. They need to focus their attention on the lanes and the heroes and rotations all at once. it might just be too much for Vega. In fact, I think if Na'Vi decide to go in for the final strangling push, they can definitely get it done in the next 5 minutes, but the call might be to wait for Roche.
Yep. Well, it's just a call if you want to go super safe. I mean, this fan is not gonna die quickly. You can pretty much know that much, but just having a little bit of extra safety of wrestle heroes like Earthshaker or Dandy, just General or Dandy, just making sure that they get the spells off no matter what. That should be kind of the way to go for Na'Vi. Yeah, for Vega, the game is just incredibly hard right now.
Oh no,
God,
here it
Link
is.
lasts onto Mac with their false promise, stopping them in tracks, but yeah. Ult for ult trade, if you will. Similar cooldowns, but Na'Vi have more than one way to initiate, so they actually... That's a very low cooldown for false promise. At level 3, 30 seconds, I kind of forgot about that, as they don't always see Oracle get that many levels.
I think this fight's going to come down to how much can the Ember Spirit get done, because he's critting like an absolute maniac. That's going to be definitely in the quadruple digits. But if he gets popped at the beginning of the fight, I think Vega just tap out.
Absolutely.
He has buyback once, but I think if Na'Vi can lock him down the first time, they can get him the second time. But Pasha, he's smoked up. He wants to get something. He needs to keep the farm train rolling. But Na'Vi are doing such a good job making Vega scared, keeping them on their toes, preparing for the next initiation.
The nature of the rapier means that buyback doesn't even matter. Look at Soneko though. Sunstrike barely missing. Didn't quite expect him to take that much damage, but there were a lot of creeps there next to him, plus the crits, and now Link lasts onto Solo. They have the false promise on himself, and now, oh, nice tornado catches him. Ditcherod just at the edge, keeping Solo alive. What that before he gets one shot, that is. Deport from the higher ground, but that will be interrupted by the sheep stick. This might be the very last fight here. No one trying to get himself out of there. Same for Macri, he pops his ult, man, pops another one, perhaps after the refresher. Just try and keep them away, trying to do a little bit of damage there. Pasha still alive, but now running them back to base, and well, they lost the Oracle, but they didn't do a lot of damage to Na'Vi. They're still very much alive and in fighting shape, save for some ultimates that are not going to come back on cooldown for quite a while, but they do have that God Strength to spend. It looks like they want to end this here. They want to go for the towers. No one stopping that from happening though. Ditcherod is out of mana, out of BKB time. Now has to be forced up back. The rest of Na'Vi have to pick up slack now. No one sheeped up. Now, Dandy comes in to try for less, so if you just had it, another couple of seconds of cooldown for the looks of it. Now Pasha comes in, tries to help, but Mac will be the second push lamp. And it's
GG.
Yeah, this is just too much. Too many mega
There's so
creeps.
much
GG
fire in the base right now.
Oh,
but
God.
it is going to go the way of Na'Vi. They take this Festo on serious. We've got another coming up, though.
Yeah, that is kind of the kind of the best news I can give you right now after 60 minutes Slugfest here. Na'Vi repeating their performance with Dota Pit. They do best Vega. It was pretty damn close. So it just felt like Vega needed a little bit of extra in the mid game just to